Hi friends, welcome to Programming Made Easy. This is Santosh Avalamuthi. Sorry I couldn't put any new videos in the past 1 week because I was busy with work. I was at a client place, so I couldn't find the time to do the videos. But now I'm back. So today we'll be seeing how to work with AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, in Python. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to the channel to get the notifications whenever I put my videos. So we will briefly go through what is AWS. So AWS or Amazon Web Services is a very famous uh, terminology or technology nowadays. So most of the people are aware of AWS. So what is AWS? It's the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform, offering over 200 fully featured services from data centers globally. Now, why somebody has to go for a cloud technology? For obvious reasons, because nowadays any startup you see, or most of the startups, or even the big companies, they are implementing their solution towards the cloud because it can give lot of benefits, which we'll be seeing very shortly. In that, so AWS is the number one with the maximum market share. Apart from AWS, we also have Google Cloud Platform or GCP, Azure, then from Microsoft we have Azure, which is again a cloud platform. So these three are the most common cloud platforms or the technologies that are available, or which are broadly used by the users. So when we talk about AWS, the major services include compute services, which talks about the virtual machines that you can use to deploy your applications, or to use the machines to take the advantage of the compute power which is provided by AWS. Storage refers to the storage services which allows us to store the files or store the data. Then we have networking services, then databases. So AWS provides both the RDBMS, relational database, as well as NoSQL database, fully managed services. Then there is also services available with respect to the security, machine learning, and also developer tools, which helps us for CI/CD, that is continuous integration, continuous development, or the DevOps. So why someone has to go for cloud platform? One is the low cost, because you don't have the headache of maintaining your own service server center or the data center, it being maintained by AWS. The second thing is you can use the service when you want, and then you can discard the service. Like for example, you want a Windows 2019 system to test something, rather than buying a new machine, or rather than buying a OS, you just get the system with Windows 2019 license. You use it for how many days you want, or even hours you want to use it, and then we can terminate that instance, so that you will be paid only for the duration that you will use a particular service. And uh, the agility means you can choose the service for based on your requirement, whether you want a 4 GB system, or a 64 GB system, or 128 228 GB system. It is available on the cloud. Or you want the storage for like 1 TB or 50 TB or 100 TB, whatever the storage you want, that is available. Basically, it is totally configurable, so that you get the system or the service as per your configuration and as per your requirement, and innovate faster because AWS provides you a lot of readily available services like with respect to machine learning or AI or IoT, which you can just plug in play and make your application or the product ready in a very short amount of time. So these are the major benefits while people are going for AWS or even for any other cloud platform. Like as we mentioned, so it provides 200 plus services, and currently AWS is spread across the world. It has 25 regions and 81 availability zones. So regions are at a higher level, and within the regions you will have availability zones for a better redundancy. Okay, so that you can, for example, you have a database, so you can have one of your database in zone 1, the master database, and the read only database or the slave database can be in zone 2, so that even if something happens to zone 1, your data is secured in zone 2, or you can have your data across the regions for even more redundancy if you want. Now, AWS provides the support to work with its services using various programming languages. So today we will see how you can interact with AWS services using Python. Now there are certain prerequisites in order to do that. First, you should have a AWS account. It's very easy to sign up the account, and they just you should have your debit card or a credit card at the time of sign up, where they charge 2 rupees in case of India, and that amount will be credited back just to validate that the card that you have entered is valid or not. So the beauty of AWS is that it provides lot of frequently used services as a free tier services, which will be valid. Some of the services are valid for 1 year, some of them are valid based on the capacity. For example, if you talk about S3, so it is you can have up to 5 GB of data you can store at free of cost, right? So there are a lot of services are provided which you can use freely without paying any amount, but when you cross that free tier, then they will generate a bill which you have to pay later. But for most of the beginners, the free tiers that is provided by AWS is more than sufficient to learn to understand how AWS works. So first and foremost, you should have AWS account. Then in order to access or in order to work with AWS services programmatically, you should create a user with programmatic access. So basically you can access AWS services either in multiple ways. So one is you can access through the management console, or you can also access through command line, uh, that is a CLI, command line interface. But when you want to access through programs, then you should give a programmatic access to a particular user. So once you create a user and give programmatic access, then AWS generates access key and a secret access key, which is required for you to interact with any of the AWS services. So you can download this, and then you can configure it, and that same thing will be used when you are trying to access any of the AWS services. So then you have to download, install, and configure AWS CLI command line interface. Then you have to configure the AWS credentials, like what is the access key you need to use, what is the secret access key, which is the zone region which you want to use by default. So we will be seeing how to configure AWS credentials. So once we do all this, then you should have Python 3.6 or later installed in your system, and then you have to install Boto 3 package. Now, if you have gone through all my videos, by this time you know how to install any package in Python. The command is pip space install space Boto 3. So this is the package which is required if you want to work with AWS. Now let's see how this whole thing works step by step. So first is, so this is my AWS console. So as you can see, I have created a user called Santosh, and I am in the service section called identity and access management. So this service it is the service which is provided by AWS, where you can create the users, you can create the roles, you can create the policies, like how to access AWS services, what permissions you have to allow. All this information is available or provided through IAM module, that is Identity and Access Management module. So once you have the account and once you log in, you can go to users and you can create the users. So by clicking on add users. The important thing is whenever you are creating the user, so you should provide the user the access. He should be having the permission to access programmatically. So that option to do that, like, just let me click on add user. So when you are doing, so you need to select this key, that is access key, programmatic access. So when you select this, then you will be getting the access key ID and the secret access key, which can be used for using AWS API, CLI, SDK, and other development tools. Now, once you create the user, you can download the credentials. So it will be looking something like this. So this is my access key ID and this is the secret access key. Okay. So as soon as this demo is over, I'm going to delete this user ID. So you will not be able to use it later. So this is the one of the requirement which we have to do, that is the creation of the user. The second thing is I've create in this program we are going to upload a file to the S3 storage. So S3 is the one of the most popular services of AWS, which can be used to store object data. Means you can store the object like anything. You can store like images, documents, etc. So it's, you can think it as, in a simple term, you can think it as a Google Drive, where you can upload your files and then give access to the people either to view or download or even modify the data. Okay, so now I have created a bucket. So in case of S3, so there is a concept of bucket, which is basically a container, and the bucket will contain the objects inside it. So objects are nothing but your files. Okay, so I've created a bucket called my programming bucket, and currently I don't have any files in this. And also this bucket is created in the region, that is Asia Pacific Mumbai AP South 1. All right. So So you have to have the user and then you have to have a bucket in the S3 service. Now let us see how to configure your AWS account. So for that you have to download the AWS CLI. So the link is provided in the description, or you can just search in Google AWS CLI. You will get a link to download the same. Now once you install it, you can just click on AWS configure. So then you get the option to set your access key ID, and then you have to set your password, and then you have to choose the default region. So let us set this. So I've already set it and I'm going to set it once again because you can see HINO that is already set here. Okay, so this is my access key ID and it will ask for your secret access key. This is my secret access key. Then it will ask for default region name. Since we are going to use the same, just press enter, and default output format. So since we are fine with the default, let's keep it as it is. So now the configuration is done. So when you are trying to access through the API, it is going to use these credentials. So you need not mention anything in the program. So there are multiple ways to configure our credentials. The another way is you can put it in a system variables, as you can create as an environment variable and you can set the value which it will take automatically, or you have to programmatically mention these details while you are connecting to AWS service through the program. So for more details, you can just go through the AWS CLI documentation where they have given in detail the various ways of configuring your access key and secret key so that you can access your AWS services. So now we are ready. I've already installed Boto 3. So it's already present in my system. So let's write a program on how I can upload a file to my S3 bucket. Okay. So first I need to import Boto 3. So this is the package which is required in order to work with AWS. Then from Boto core dot exceptions import client error. So if you see essentially the package contains two main modules, Boto 3 and Boto core. Okay. So then I'm going to create a client for S3, S3 underscore client equal to Boto 3 dot client. So I need S3, so I need to mention I need S3 client. Then try, so response equal to S3 client dot upload file. So we need to upload the file. So this will take three arguments. One is your file name. So I'm going to upload this particular image. So let me get full path of this. Okay. So I need the double quotes here, here, here. The second argument is your bucket name. So my bucket name here is my programming bucket. So let me copy this And third is called object name or a unique identifier for your file or the object. So I'm going to select this. So this has to be unique. If not, it will overwrite your file. Okay, this is the object which you need to give. Okay, next is except. So if we get any exceptions, so except client error as E, then print E. Okay, so that's it. We are done with the program. It's a very simple program to upload the file to my S3 bucket. So we have to import the Boto3 package. If you want to capture the exceptions, then you can import this Boto core, this client error. Then create a client and pass S3. So you need to pass what service you need to access. So S3, I'm going to connect to S3, so I'm passing S3. Then use upload underscore file function, which takes three arguments, your file path, then the bucket name, and then the object name. So let's run this program and see what happens. So let me set the path here first. Okay. So Python AWS programming.py. So it is uploading the file. So uploading is done. Let's go to our bucket and see what is there in our file. So let me refresh this. So you can see the file is uploaded. It is at 28 KB. Basically, this is an image. So you can just go there and you can see the path of this particular image. So you can just open it in a browser. So it's an image, so it just download it. Okay, fine. So that's all, folks. It's very simple how you can connect or you can work with AWS using Boto 3 package. So let me come back to my PPT. So I hope you enjoyed the session today. So as you saw in this particular session, it's quite easy to work with AWS services using Python. So I hope you all enjoyed it. So if you feel this particular session was useful, so do like it, comment it, and also share it. So once again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel so that you get the notifications on all my videos. So thank you so much for watching the video. Till we meet again, take care. Bye.